Go again. Y'all excuse me. I'm at it again. Do 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 do. Close this. So now I was doing that. Let me get back to those. Y'all excuse me. This ain't one of those others. Yep, that's the one. Alright, now go back over here. Now we'll share this page right here. Turn the binding. Oh, let's enhance. Pitch me the pick, no. Move back up. Boom. Live stream.
So what we have here is a grounding rod clamp. So what this is going to do is it's going to clamp onto our grounding rod, making a secure connection between our grounding rod and also our grounding wire. So we're going to clamp onto this grounding rod, run to our first one with our wire, and then into the garage. So we have our grounding clamp here. We're going to make our connection right here. We're going to put it down maybe about 1/2 inch. We're just going to snug this onto the grounding rod. So these teeth are biting into our grounding rod, making this a nice secure connection right here. What we're going to do is take our other grounding rod and we're going to put this one on right now. That way we can just go 6 feet down this way and it'll be all ready for us.
Just catching you up, they've taken 2 8-foot grounding rods, galvanized copper covered, and drove them into the ground at minimum 6 feet. And now they're taking a piece of copper, a continuous piece of copper, from one grounding rod to the next grounding rod and to the bonding bar of the panel.
So what we're going to do now is we are going to put a 90-degree bend in this wire, like so.
And this is a review for me.
Run that wire right up there, and we're going to stick this out probably about 1 inch to 3/4 inch, and then we're going to snug this one down. So now that's really snug, and with this sticking up here like this, I'm going to take a hammer and bend that right over. Now we have a super secure connection. We are grounded to the rod with the clamp, and our grounding wire is grounded here to the clamp itself. So this is a nice secure connection. This thing isn't going anywhere. So now all we can do is we can just go ahead and take our other clamp, slide it down to our first grounding rod. So now we can just unwind this wire into our little trench that we have here up along our garage. We will slide our clamp that we already have in place right down here to our first connection here. Okay, So same thing, we want to bend up to a 90 to get on the connection here. So we're going to bend this, make sure this is down in our trench good. Head up at a 90-degree bend there. Okay, and it's exactly the same as the other one. Snug this clamp down. And then we can snug our wire down. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to tap this down so it's a lot more flush. Now we can go ahead and take our conduit pieces. We are going to be coming through our bell end here first. So we'll stick our elbow on first. Okay, that's about where we want it. Then we'll go ahead and fit our box on here. All right, so I'm liking that about right there. Once we have that set, now we can pass it through here, because this is probably the toughest bend to get this bent up, back around, and back through our wall. All right, now we can pass this wire in through our wall. Okay, so here is our connection. We have our ground wire coming up from our ground stake into our 90 and up into the garage. So this will get covered up with dirt. The reason we drive these down so far is because we don't want to hit them with a string trimmer or anything. And the reason we put this 90 on here is if we do get grass in here and we hit this, it's not going to damage our grounding wire. Everything is covered up by either dirt or some type of conduit to protect it as it goes into the garage. The only thing I haven't really found is how to securely attach these to the garage itself. So if you guys have a good option, whether it be to just drive a nail through here or some type of connection on the inside, I'd love to hear that in the comments below. But this is the way we are looking right now. We can go ahead and cover this back up with earth or ground, and then we can move to the inside.
Okay, how do I?
Now what we can do is we can take our ground wire, run it up along here behind our conduit and into our box. So we have our ground wire up here to the bottom of our box. What we're going to utilize is Square D's quick grips and just put here behind our conduit and into our box. Now what we can do is we can take our ground wire, run it up along here. Is covered up by either dirt or some type of conduit to protect it as it goes into the garage. The only thing I haven't really found is how to securely attach these to the garage itself.
So what you could do to attach this to the garage itself is you put a 1/2-inch 1-hole strap, a 1/2-inch 2-hole strap over the bottom of the neck for starters. For seconders, you can put silicone.
So if you guys have,
you can put silicone around the pieces going in there, and it will attach it via compound glue, basically, to the structure. But definitely, and you can also screw through there, through the inside of there, into the structure itself. And if you do it, make any penetrations in there, I mean, this is fine. Sometimes if you make penetrations, you want to likewise coat your screw with caulk or with bushing on it to prevent to weatherize or weatherproof it. All right. Any questions? Feel free to reach into the comments. Any discrepancies? Feel free to reach into the comments. I'm looking for my
have a good option, whether it to be to driving through here or it's some type of connection on the inside, I'd love to hear that in the comments below. But this is the way we are looking right now. We can go ahead and cover this back up with earth or ground, and then we can move to the inside. Now what we can do is we can take our ground wire, run it up along here behind our conduit and into our box. So we have our ground wire up here to the bottom of our box. What we're going to utilize is Square D's quick grips and just put a little V into our ground wire and then run it right up here to our neutral bus bar. There you have it. We have our grounding wire tied in. There you have it. There you have it. We have our grounding wire tied into our neutral bus bar. So the last thing that we're going to do is we're going to take this bonding screw and bond our electrical panel. What this screw does is it bonds the neutral bus bar where it goes right up here in the top corner, takes it through the neutral bus bar and into our panel. So those now are connected. So say you have a grounding bar over here on your panel, right? That grounding bar will be grounded to the panel itself if it is separate. We don't have that on this one, but many of them do. There is no way for that ground to make a connection to the neutral bus bar because it's elevated off the panel with this plastic backing. So we need to bond those together, and that's what this screw does. It goes through our neutral bus bar, ground or bonds the neutral bus bar to the panel itself, which if you had a ground bar over here on your side, it would make that connection then. Without this screw, there is no way for current to get from the neutral bus bar to your ground bar over here on the side. We have taken our ground wire and taken it right into our bus bar, but we are still going to bond our neutral bus bar to our panel itself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you would make that connection then, the backing. So we need to bond those together, and that's what this screw does. It goes through our neutral bus bar, ground or bonds the neutral bus bar to the panel itself, which if you had a ground bar over here on your side, it would make that connection then. Without this screw, there is no way for current to get from the neutral bus bar to your...
It would be considered isolated. That's what they call that, isolated.
Ground bar over here on the side. We have taken our ground wire and taken it right into our bus bar, but we are still going to bond our neutral bus bar to our panel itself. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, make sure you hit that like button and head over to Appalachian DIY for more videos. Thanks again, guys, and I'll see you next time.
Yeah, you guys, we want to send a salute out to Appalachian DIY, do it yourself. Feel free to go over to his site and subscribe and like his work, and stay tuned to PCC podcast content brought to you by way of CE and CS, Cali Electrical and Contracting Services. If you need your services done, if you need your system grounded, bonded, recessed lighting, surveillance installation, or any other work done in the Richmond, Virginia area or in the Virginia area, I have a 2-hour radius of 23805, which would be the zip code, the locality, the geographic location. Yes, you could call and book us at 804-668-6431, or you can email us at Cali Electrical and Contracting Services, or you can find us on Facebook at Cali Electrical and Contracting Services on Facebook. And you can reach us on Yelp as well. All right, guys, thanks a lot for viewing this stream of grounding and bonding. And if anybody has any questions, feel free to comment in the chat, and I'll answer them accordingly. And you guys have a great weekend that is ahead of us. Like, share, and subscribe. Peace. See you.